It's okay. Off your mic. It's okay. Off your mic.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mic, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo.
Hello there.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀, làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀, làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And then good evening to you from wherever you are joining us this moment. It is Maiyegun Live. Should I say officially, it is Democracy Day in Nigeria today. Democracy. We got to a point that democracy lule. Be Oshekeni Olule. Oshekeji Olule. Ode Shubu lori TV.
Sorry, oh.
Thank you so much. Remember, after reading the caption of the broadcast, reading the description of the broadcast, you need to share it right now. The Agbadorians, the bastards, the bad idiots, they are now organizing a pity party right now. And most of you have been invited to that pity party. Do not pity anybody. Because they don't pity anybody. You get that? Don't join their pity party. Just invite them to join Maiyegun. I've got so many knocks here that we can actually knock their heads, right? Virtually. So read, share, invite, and tell everybody that. But today, you know why I am going to be like this for this brunch time? It is because I have seen this happen many times. You will see the typical Nigerians lying to themselves, defending the criminals, making lives hell for them. And then, once a mishap, a calamity, or something shall happen, especially if it is about hunger, they want you to not mock them. All of us are, if you want to grow old, don't mock old people. These people don't want us to grow old. So, yeah, if that is the only thing we're going to take out of them, fine. Disgraceful element that were supposed to be in old people's homes. They want to be the one to decide our future. And yet, we can see how much they are actually capable of doing, right? They want you to feel sorry. They want you to feel sorry and then don't mock them. Don't laugh. Laugh, laugh, Majority of them told us that they were actually wishing evil to happen to us so that they can now use that to say, Shebi, we told you not to laugh at So if I am going to hurt your feelings, right? Be my guest, okay? But that is not going to be all we're going to do today, all right? It's just going to be like part of it. We're going to be really petty. I'm going to be petty. And if it makes you feel mad, be my guest. Yahweh for the next 3 hours. But if you think you're not up for it, please don't watch again, all right? Today is considered Democracy Day in Nigeria. How far has democracy helped you? How far? So, a lot of people with what happened today in Nigeria shows that they'll probably take anything apart from this demonstration of grace yesterday. In fact, for like a week now. The Take It Back movement, Sowore and what is that guy? Juwon. What's the guy's name again? That young guy that was right here. So Juwon and others, they've been kind of mobilizing and telling people that they are going to have Hunger Day. I don't know. I think it's called Hunger Day. Something to say that they are hungry. A being power day. So if this is what is going to be the symbol of their demonstration of grace, the police was not going to have any of that. So as usual, even though in the last few days, Baba, more than 70 people were slaughtered in Katsina alone, Bokwari State, Kankara, over 70 people by the terrorists. In Niger State, over 40 people. Baba, across northern Nigeria, more than 25 policemen, soldiers they've been slaughtered. In the last few days, just few days, I'm not saying this year, 23 policemen, soldiers have been killed by the terrorists in that same axis. We didn't know they were planning and then organizing dinner, Democracy Day dinner. They will even put a camera in front of a call to speak to Nigerians. And indeed, I'm going to play you that, okay? Don't worry. It is recorded. He's reading it from somewhere. It's going to be annoying. It's going to be boring. It's lying through his teeth. But nevertheless, let it be on record. Before Thiefnubu fell and tumbled today, in what many are not actually seeing as karma, some said maybe Thiefnubu no chop self. People, they fall down everywhere. Old people, young people, hunger everywhere in Nigeria. Maybe your president yourself. Hunger the wire around. Even though that's going to be like an oxymoron or something. But before Thiefnubu tumbled, he was in front of a camera last night when they recorded this message that they broadcasted to Nigerians today. I'm going to start with that. Let's start with the boring part first. Then we go to the interesting and more interesting parts. Ladies and gentlemen, call this morning.
No abstract concept devoid of real life. My fellow Nigerians, let me begin by congratulating all of us for witnessing the celebration of another Democracy Day today, the 12th day of June 2024. This year also marks our nation's 25 years of uninterrupted democratic governance. On this day, 31 years ago, we entered our rites of passage to becoming a true and enduring democratic society. Going through this passage was hard and dangerous. During the fateful 6 years that followed, we fought and struggled for our natural rights as human beings, put on this earth by the divine hand of our Creator. We lost great heroes and heroines along the way. In this struggle, the winner of June 12, 1993 presidential election, Chief MKO Abiola, the most significant symbol of our democratic struggle, his wife, Kudirat, General Shehu Musa Yar'Adua, and Pa Alfred Iwani, amongst others, sacrificed their very lives. They bravely surrendered their fortunes so that our nation might have a better one. Let us honor the memories of Chief Anthony Enahoro, Chief Abraham Adesanya, Commodore Dan Sulaiman, Chief Athon Wanko, Chief Chukwuemeka Ezeibe, Admiral Ndibusi Kanu, Chief Frank Kokori, Chief Bola Ige, Chief Adekunle Ajasin, Chief Gani Udaudu, Chief Ayo Fasanmi, Chief Gani Fawemi, Chief Olabi Idrojaye, Dr. Beko Ransom Kuti, Chima Ubani, and others who have transited to higher realm. The sacrifices of General Alani Akinriyade, Professor Bolaji Akinyemi, Professor Wole Soyinka, Chief Rab Obio.
Let's skip that part. I want to go to the part where he was talking about waiting the shege una the face for Nigeria. Okay? So why he knows that you the face the shege, but there is no other way out of it. You are sacrificing. Okay? Because you see those names he's mentioning as the victims of the military persecution. Now, democracy is in Nigeria. Now, Abi, do you think Nigeria has a democracy? At least you did Nigeria. You did inside Nigeria. Can you call what you have inside Nigeria democracy? Or renew the shege or renew the slavery? So let's go to that part. Let's keep all that,
No abstract concept devoid of real life meaning for us. Neither can we afford to reduce or minimize it to being nothing but the mere holding of periodic elections where one candidate and party outdo another. While elections attract democratic attention, they are but one aspect of democracy. Democracy is a way of life. that encompasses a broad outlook of which elections are but a part. As such, a nation can have elections without being democratic, but a nation cannot be truly democratic without holding elections. That we have established a tradition of holding transparent, open, and fair elections gives credence to our democratic standing. That we have experienced peaceful transitions of government affirms our democratic temperament. Fellow Nigerians, true democracy shined its light on the daily lives of the people who live under its nurturing wings. It affords us the freedom and liberty to think as we want, live where we want, and pursue whatever legitimate endeavors suits us. Democracy does not assume some false or forced unity of opinion. In fact, democracy assumes that conflicting ideas and differing opinions shall be the order of the day, given the diversity and variety of the human experience. There must be diverse perspectives and viewpoints. What democracy demands is that we do not resolve differences through force and repression, but we make allowance for the legitimacy of views that differ from our own. The other forms of government imposed against the will of the people. Democracy aims to make leaders who conduct themselves as servants of the common good, not as viceroys of the narrow interests of the might. My dear compatriots, Nigeria faced the decision of untold gravity 25 years ago, whether to veer towards better destination or continue aimlessly in fog of dictatorship. We made the right choice then. We must continue with that choice now. As Nigerians, we must remind ourselves that no matter how complicated democracy may be, it is the best form of governance in the long run. We must also be aware that there are those among us who will try to exploit current challenges to undermine, if not destroy, this democracy for which so much has already been given. This is the great battle of our day and the major reason we specially celebrate this day as Democracy Day. The true meaning of the day is not to focus solely on the great deeds of the past that have brought us to this point. Yes, we pay eternal honor to those who laid down their lives, sacrificing everything to pave the way for the nation. I stand uniquely placed in this regard, and I was among those who took the risk to midwife the birth of our democracy. I am now a direct and obvious beneficiary of the fruit of those historic efforts. As a president of this nation, I am morally and constitutionally bound to preserve this precious form of governance. I vow to do my utmost best to protect your rights, freedom, and liberty as citizens of Nigeria. Even more than that, I pledge to do whatever is necessary to cement democracy as our way of life. Although the challenges are steep and multiple, I am grateful to lead Nigeria at this moment in our history and point in our democratic journey. I come before you also to declare that our most important work remains before us. The real test has never been whether we will rise to the challenge, the sling of misfortune and grievous pains of dictatorship. The real test is whether we shall lower our guns. No abstract concept.
Remember, like they did a good job enough that the editing, the cut and join and everything was like, smooth. But that was called, now to the interesting part, to let all of you know that you have not died. I mean, you are still alive. You are not dead yet. Some people die for this democracy. So whatever you are going through right now, you are still paying the price. Endure. Now that's the interesting part. His message to you
is whether we shall lower our guns and fail to defend democracy as the shadow of despotism and its evident physical danger fade. I say to you here and now that as we celebrate the enshrinement of our political democracy, let us commit ourselves to the fulfillment of equally important counterpart, the realization of our economic democracy. I understand the economic difficulties we face as a nation right now. Our economy has been in desperate need of reform for decades. It has been unbalanced because it was built on the flawed foundations and over-reliance on revenue from exploitation of oil. The reforms we have initiated are intended to create a stronger, better foundation for future growth. There is no doubt that the reform has occasioned hardship. I feel your pains. Yet there are necessary repairs required to fix the economy over the long run so that everyone has access to economic opportunity, fair pay, and compensation for its endeavor and labor. As we continue to reform the economy, I shall always listen to the people and will never turn my back on you. In this spirit, we have negotiated in good faith and with open arms with organized labor on a new national minimum wage. We shall soon send our executive bill to the National Assembly to enshrine what has been agreed upon as part of our law for the next 5 years or less. In the face of labor's call for national strike, we did not seek to oppress or crack down on the workers as a dictatorial government of the past would have done. We chose the path of cooperation over conflict. Nobody was arrested or threatened. Instead, the labor leadership was invited to break bread and negotiate towards good faith resolution. Reasoned discussions and principled compromise are a hallmark of democracy. These themselves shall continue to animate my policies and interaction with the constituent part of our political economy. I take on this vital task without fear or favor, and I commit myself to this work until we have built a Nigeria where no man is oppressed. In the end, our national greatness will not be achieved by traversing or traveling the easy way. It can only be achieved by taking the right one. The words of American President Franklin Roosevelt sadly rings true, and I quote, There are many ways of going forward, but only one way of standing still, and unquote. We dare not slumber, lest the good things awaiting our immediate future pass us by. We dare not plant our feet in the idle standstill in the middle of the intersection of hope and despair. We know the proper way forward, and we shall take it. The initial rays of a brighter tomorrow now appears on the horizon. An abundant future and our capacity to achieve that future lies within our reach. Democracy and the institution it begets over to take us to our profound destination. Let us board this progressive train together. And together, let us move Nigeria forward. Let's continue to keep the fire of democracy burning. Let's keep the torch lit for generations to come. May God continue to bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Don't forget. So that last part, Kalu said he feels your pains. Okay? And all this pain, that they are necessary because he is carrying out a reform. But by in truest sense, anyone here can tell me any major investments in the real sector of Nigeria made by Kalu in the last 1 year. They told you that they removed subsidy so that they could use their money to better your lives while you are paying through your nose. I mean, through your noses, right? And then the cost of living crisis continue to drown even the strongest of you. So the likes of Kalu feels your pain. Okay? But now you found out that you have been deceived. And they are still deceiving you. Those of you who believe that the suffering that you had, the hardship that you had to go through when Kalu said subsidy was gone, you were convincing yourself that it was worth it. In the long run, the refineries will be working. The roads will be motorable. And they will invest the money in education too. Up to this moment. When I don't collect your student loan, by the way, I feel started collecting it. Now it's all graduate. What future is he talking about? And that future, he said, is building. Who are those who are going to exist in that future? The dead, hungry Nigerians of now. Are those the ones he's building the future for? Is that not the same future that Bokwari said he was building? That some of you bled. You bled. You starved. You suffered for 8 years. And the Aminals, they were there cashing out hundreds of billions of your money stolen, trillions of that gone into private pockets. And yet, those of you who are waiting for the reward of your sacrifices because you love Nigeria, you have your suffering has now been renewed. It is now the renewed shaky. So when the policemen heard that people were not going to come and celebrate any democracy day, but they would rather celebrate the hunger day, the same police in the democracy, at the tone of their language last night, I think. Yeah. Listen to this.
Nigeria plays false warns against violent protests, destruction of critical infrastructures. As IGP orders deployment, warns against the criminal act of tampering with the national grid. Following recent moves by some groups mobilizing for a mass protest nationwide, the Nigeria Police Force reiterates that the right of citizens to protest is a right to peaceful protest only. The Nigeria Police will protect the rights of all citizens, including those on peaceful protest, but will not look on to see the rights of other citizens being violated. No decent society anywhere in the world will tolerate violent destruction of lives and property in the name of a protest. While the Nigeria Police Force is committed to protecting the rights of those on peaceful protests, it will not look on to see the right of others being violated in the name of a mass protest. Those who want to stage a peaceful protest are advised to inform the police and request for police protection. Those who do otherwise should be ready to face the full weight of the law. Members of the public are again reminded that it is a criminal offense to tamper with the national grid or prevent or disrupt the transmission of electricity. It is equally unacceptable to cause disruption to any other critical infrastructure, such as airports, hospitals, and other essential services, or violent picketing in whatever magnitude. The Nigeria Police Force, being a civil and responsive institution, committed to maintaining law and order and ensuring the safety and security of all citizens, therefore warns that any attempt to disrupt critical infrastructure, which could lead to an act of economic sabotage, treasonable felony, and jeopardize national security and public safety, will not be condoned during any protest action, and will be met with the full force of the law. The Inspector General of Police of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, IGP Olukayode Adeoluegbetokun, PhD, NPM, has directed all zonal assistant inspectors general of police and state command commissioners of police, in collaboration with other security agencies, to ensure robust security arrangements and in place to prevent any breakdown of law and order, including strategic deployments to protect key infrastructures and ensure that protests, if any, remain peaceful and lawful. The police equally appeals to parents and guardians to warn their wards not to be used by disgruntled and misguided individuals who are mobilizing for destructions with intent to create anarchy. Such individuals are advised in their own interest to shelve their unpatriotic and clandestine plans. We remain dedicated to upholding the rights of citizens while ensuring that public order is maintained. Thank you. This message is from the Office of the Inspector General of Police, Force Headquarters, Abuja, because those who want to...
Nuisance Lele. Nuisance Lele.
Now, so then they do a useless man. From the beginning of the nonsense he was reading, he said, it is the right of the citizens to protest. Okay? Because they heard that some people are mobilizing, they want to protest. Now the police, Nigerian police IG, then jumped from saying it is allowed, right? It is your right to protest. Then he added, he said, it must be peaceful protest. They will not tolerate vandalism, this and that. Then he went on again to say, those who are mobilizing for that protest, right? They are planning anarchy. So you, parents, warn your children not to be part of them. It is their modus operandi. Civilians who need the protection of the Nigerian policemen, and they are right now trapped in the hands of their different captors, terrorists who have kidnapped them. The unlucky ones have been killed. There was no police to save them. There is not even any police statement from the police IG to the terrorists. All of you, the terrorists that are killing people in Kankara, We want to tell you, no statement from them, nothing. It was after Thiefnubu, Obi, and the rest of them started condemning the killings. That was when Thiefnubu issued a statement that they should apprehend the terrorists killing people in Boko Haram's state. You forgot Kankara Kajuru. Kankara was a place they kidnapped school children under Boko Haram. Over 300 school children under Boko Haram in Kankara. Remember, Kankara boys. So yes, the police was ready for the hungry Nigerians because according to them, it's probably going to be about anarchy. So anarchy lose. So I took collection of some of the earlier clips of the protest across Nigeria today. So I fused them together from Edo to Lagos to Kaduna and then to Abuja, okay, and a few other places like that. So I'll share them with us, okay, in the next clip. Let's go take a look.
So, Thiefnubu is currently here at Under Bridge, Ikeja, covering the June 12 protest. Nigerian youths are protesting against hardship. They are protesting against hunger. They want police out of the protest ground.
In Nigeria, whether the economic condition is not favorable, nobody can nobody can feed their family or feed themselves. English, let's fast. So we are not here to support anybody. We are here on the peaceful protest, and we can feed the money. So our friends in the media, please, totally admiration. We are here on the peaceful protest. What we can do is to card, Afara. So please, because you the press, you also are compromised. That is that issue. So report our protest the way you see it now. We are here on the peaceful protest. The police are here. The government are here. We are here. We are here on the peaceful protest. All the things are taken. We go on our own way. We are not going to anymore.
So the Lagos protesters are now decided that they are not ending this protest anytime soon until the national coordinator of Take It Back movement that was kidnapped last night is being released.
Nigerians are hungry. Nigerians are saying they are hungry.
shall always fight for our rights. Freedom come by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come. Freedom come by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come by struggle. Freedom come by struggle. Great. Àbáwẹ̀ ló wẹ̀ ilé ṣáàtì èmi ló kàn. Bàbá tí ò gbádùn tó tún sunkún èmi ló kàn. Èmi ló kàn.
Èmi ló kàn. Bàbá tí ò gbádùn tó ń sunkún èmi ló kàn. Soli, 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 solidarity forever. Man, these people are going to make you hate that song now. It is one of the most stupid song that has become more foolish to sing these days. I don't want to find myself in the midst of people singing that. Soli, 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 solidarity forever. So after that, what happened? Everybody go home. Yeah. The criminals in Nigeria, I mean, they should, in fact, Sowore should stop calling this protest. Sowore should start calling it expression of feelings. Because that's what they do. You see 15 people here. You see 30 people there. You see 40 here. That's the most. Then you see maybe 10 here. Everybody carrying flag. Soli, 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 solidarity forever. You need to end hunger. You need to end starvation. Our right is our right. And everybody will scream. Then when they are tired, they will fold all the cardboard, fold all the banners, fold everything and say, comrade, thank you so much. Me and they go, I get one urgent 2K where I won't go pick. Everybody go back home. So I said every time, I mean, I don't understand, if not because the criminals in Nigeria are so scared. They know that something inside of you want to do more than singing soli, soli, soli. So they are afraid. In fact, not that. They expect that what they are doing to you, what you are facing in Nigeria, should be so bad enough to have triggered a lot of you to have attacked them, come after them. So every time you say you want to, tomorrow is the showdown. We will show them, because that's what show will say. Show will be like, everybody should come out. Unfortunately, people don't come out to give, possibly that's the problem. So imagine if you have 10,000 to 20,000 people in Lagos. And then you stay out there and say, okay, what do you want? What do we want? Okay, hang on, let me think about something. So that you can go out there and say, okay, what do we want? We want food. When do we want it? Now. So if they don't give you food, you don't go come out. All over Nigeria, you shut everywhere down. So I said, the problem when people ask, what is the way forward? The problem is that stop asking the way forward when you are not ready to actually follow the way forward. Because majority of Nigerians, have been brainwashed to believe that somebody will rise someday. One person will shall rise one day and will fight for us. That's their belief. So that is why false prophets, messiahs, always pop up every now and then. It could be in the military. Once it pop up, say, yeah, thank God our enemy has fallen. Another person has taken over. Then that one will begin to deal with them. Yeah? Then they begin to pray for another Messiah. Maybe something should happen. The Messiah should rise. So because they have been subjected that way, there are some Nigerians too who have savior personality. You know, Or you don't know that? Yeah, there are some Nigerians who have this savior mentality. I am fighting for my people. Okay? I am standing up and fighting because I have to fight for... You can't fight for people who don't want to be fought for. The people actually have to want to fight. Okay? And then you can say, yeah, I am fighting with my people. It's better than I am fighting for my people. Alaye, go sit down, Joe. Fighting for who? So there are Nigerians like that who have that savior mentality. And there are majority of Nigerians who are expecting a savior. So they will come to you and say, hey, okay, what is the way forward? They are not ready to follow any way forward, though. Majority of them love their chains more than anything, though. Then they carry their slavery chain with pride. That's why they will tell you, I'm a proud Nigerian. I say, Mama, who they call yourself a proud Nigerian? You mean like say you're a proud slave? No. I am a proud Nigerian. But I am proud Nigerian. Stop calling yourself proud. It's like saying I'm a proud slave. Which kind of level are? If you are not willing to follow any way forward, stop asking for it. So I said, once you are willing to fight for yourself, out of 145 million Nigerians living in multi-dimensional poverty, over 70 million Nigerians no get job, no real job. Some of them get family, they don't get a real job. Some they are in their 30s, they look like they are in their 50s. They know they call them Egbon Adubu already. Yeah. The poverty is so extreme that the younger people are the most affected victims in everything that is happening in Nigeria. The younger people are those mostly affected and mostly neglected too. I said, out of 145 million, if not just 10% of Puna, with the insider multi-dimensional poverty, decided to shut down Nigeria, these criminals who are scared of you, many of them will run away. Those of them that will remain, it will be like say you use juju talk to them. They will begin to kind of beg. That means the whole thing has come to a conclusion. You can no longer take it. But if you are looking for Jesus Christ to come and die for you, Baba, you go take for inside the slave camp. And I'm just going to be here to keep reminding you. Maybe motivate you too. Your suffering, the hardship, the oppression, you see, the abuse and the assault you are getting from these rogues. They are enough motivation. They are enough motivation for you to kind of to snap. They are waiting for you to snap. Or rather, and singing and dancing, then we go back home.
Oh,
Master Party.
They are protesting hunger and they are dancing and clapping, having their own, once they are tired, okay, they will go home. And then they will be wondering why the criminal politicians don't take them serious. I mean, if I am a politician in that contraption, and then I open the social media and I see these 20, 30 people next to a roadside shop, next to the bridge, clapping and dancing. Even the policemen, they were just like, oh, I hope they finish before 12, because I get appointment for Ojuri roadblock. Maybe these people know spoil business for me today, Jerry. I hope they finish what they are doing. By now, majority of them are now back home. So what is next? What's going to happen? So that's why I said that I do not want to kind of condemn it, okay? But I want to say, Sowore and the people who are organizing this kind of protests, right? They should stop calling it a protest. We are shutting down tomorrow. Stop calling it that. Start calling it expression of feelings. How do you feel? Nigerians, how do you feel? Oh, we're being power. You know what? Meet us at Ikeja under bridge tomorrow so that we can tell the politicians and the government that they're being power. We must make them give us our rights. Solidarity. It's like an on auto. Everywhere you go, solidarity. Then they go back home. If I was a politician in that contraption, I would look at it as unserious people here. So call it a day of expression of feelings. Okay, even a protest should be, and I do not want to put all of that on the organizers. The organizers called out. So the leader got arrested. He is still under detention as we speak. So what would you do? If you call out Nigerians who said they are hungry, they are starving, to come out and let us think on this government, and now only 15, 20 people come out for your area. I mean, like, anyway. So that was that around the Lagos. But back in Abuja, remember that Kolu said he has reached an agreement with the labor leaders, right? And he's going to be sending the bill or something, minimum wage, to the National Assembly for them to pass soon, right? The problem now is that now 62,000 naira Thiefnubu they talk about. And that is what the Labour said they will reject. But because Ajero's return tickets, it be like saying tonight or tomorrow. So therefore, they cannot go on strike right now. But Thiefnubu said he allowed them to go on strike, he would have arrested them or harassed them, but he didn't. So if Thiefnubu's proposal is 62,000 naira, 60K plus the urgent 2K, well, we would have to actually wait for Ajero then, Abi. So they called Thiefnubu after that broadcast. Bro Bernard, they said it's Bro Bernard. So they called Thiefnubu to come and do parade. Listen to me, Thiefnubu is an old guy. He's older than the age he wants you to believe. He's a sick man. He's mentally sick. He's got dementia. He's got, what is that thing called? Catheter. Maybe the person, they shit himself like, you know, you couldn't really control your bowel per se. So he wear diapers. You see all of this, right? They are the signs to show that Thiefnubu doesn't belong in the asshole rock if it wasn't the old people's zone. It belonged into a place in Badagry, next to the border, next to that place they call the border of no return. There is a place there for old people where Thiefnubu was supposed to be practicing, pretending to be president of somewhere. But he's there inside the asshole rock. So he will take all of the bands by the special grace of God. And it doesn't matter how you feel. Okay? You see the disgrace that Nigeria has become today, including the slow mentality of a majority of the impoverished Nigerians today. Thiefnubu is a reflection of that. It started with Bokwari, a deluded, demented as well, by the way, lifeless Megad. And you could see what Nigeria became. Those around them, they could manipulate these sick old men for their own advantage, to their own advantage. Give me a sec. Now they could do that. And because these guys just want to appear to say, I am the president. Am I still president? Yeah, you are still president. They are like infirm. They are like infirm. They are like mentally sick, like slow, and they are easily manipulated. And that's exactly what is reflecting in Nigeria, where everyone just do whatever they like. All right? It happened under Bokwari. You have seen the results. Bokwari fell. They wanted to blackmail us. They said we should not laugh. We should not talk if we want to grow old. But go and see some of these over 60,000 women and children, civilians slaughtered under Bokwari. Majority of those killed, they were women and children. Okay? And they were young. When I say children, at least you know that's not old, Rabi. These were people who did not laugh at Bokwari, who did not say anything about Bokwari. They were killed after all because of Bokwari's policy. The ones that pardons terrorists and jail activists. So they called Thiefnubu to come and do parade, Democracy Day parade. I don't know. Maybe not the ganja, maybe not the drug. I have no idea. Some said it's because of the agbada. Or when called Lulule, even me shout, Jesus.
Resume of the reviewing officer. The special guest of honor and reviewing officer for today's historic occasion, His Excellency President Ashiwa. Resume of the reviewing officer. The special guest of honor and reviewing officer for today's historic occasion, His Excellency. Resume of the reviewing officer.
Sorry. Sorry.
That was Kolu. And whatever happened, I sort of blame those behind him. He's an old guy. Remember the other day I told you what is wrong if they let him sit on a wheelchair. He's an old guy, people of his age, with some of the medical problems that, medical conditions like that. Number one, he shouldn't be president, but he is. Have you seen Joe Biden? That one is worse. But you know the difference between those around Joe Biden and those around Thiefnubu is that, you see those around Joe Biden, they are Americans. All right? You see those around Thiefnubu, they are chancers, opportunists who pretend to be Nigerians. Because in real sense, there is no real Nigerian anywhere. So those around Joe Biden, no matter how much you kind of have any of their shortcomings, okay, you will still see that America is still kind of being run. It may not be to your own will, like if you are like a Republican or I'm just saying. I'm not trying to defend Joey. I'm saying those around there, those around Joe Biden, right? They are still pro-America, put it that way. You see those around Thiefnubu, they are praise singers, ass lickers, in suits and babariga. Even if Thiefnubu shit on his body, they will tell you, oh, it was just a little bit of abdominal stress. It's nothing new. They will even go and Google and look for any leader in the world with a shit in body. You see, Nicaragua president in 1921, he did shit for body. This is how horrible these guys are. And there is no bottom barrel hole that these guys will not think Nigeria, as long as he gives them any crumbs. Now your own body go tell. All right? So don't let anybody pity party or push you into emotional blackmail, okay? Laugh, 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 talk on. No be you put Kolu in that condition. No be you talk, say, after the life of a drug abuse, he is still being kind of popped up on steroids to make him appear sharp. And in most cases, he will end up appearing drowsy. 70 years old man. I thought they would put him on a horse, but they didn't. Eventually, right? He did not break any bone. And if he did break any bone, they won't tell us, okay? But they still popped him up and they still popped him onto that truck, right? To do the parade, to complete the shame. As he was waving at the workers, I believe, or waving at the people, they were shouting minimum. Well, listen. Minimum wage. We want minimum wage. We want minimum. Right. So that is my report from Nigeria today or this morning. There are others that are still coming later. So let me ask you this, right? You know, usually brunch time with Maiyegun is into two phases, right? I mean, three phases. The first one is a bit of a snippet into what is going on. Then the next one is going to be us reading from our white malice, the neo-colonization of Africa during the time of independence movements. We have heard about Nkrumah. We have known about Mobutu Sese Seko. We have known about Patrice Lumumba. We have known about so many of these African-American pro-freedom, guys who are actually working for the CIA. So the third part is usually when we take calls. Now, because today is your democracy or demonstration of grace day, I don't know if you have a lot to say today, right? So do you want me to just go straight and kind of read a chapter from our white malice, then use the rest of the afternoon to take calls, or you will just rather go into calls straight away and we can start having that chat as long as possible? Which one would you prefer? You tell me. But listen to this. Goodluck Egbere Jolantan was also speaking at a dinner organized to commemorate the 25th anniversary of the democracy in Nigeria. Could you please share?
Of our democracy. In fact, Kingibe mentioned the key actors, including late Abiola's wife, Kodirat, and others. And of course, he was the elected vice president of the country. He was the vice president of MKO Abiola. So that's an area he knows more than me, so I wouldn't want to bore your ears by mentioning names again. But we also remember the famous letter signed by 18 northern elders and delivered by Chief Solomon La, Alhaji Abubakar Remi, Malam Adamu Siroma, Ahmed Joda, and Chief Sunday Awini to General Sani Abacha demanding the return of Nigeria to democratic rule. A military dictator sitting, and some bloody civilians moved in with a letter saying, please, we need democracy. That's another way of saying, please get out, we want to take over from you. For the military, that is treason. So some people entered and confronted the lion, also to urge him to come up with a democratic setting. The full signatories to that letter were Chief Solomon La, Alhaji Adamu Siroma, Alhaji Lawal Kaita, Alhaji Abubakar Remi.
Jonah, keep your eulogies to yourself. So I think we are going to spend another 40 minutes while we quickly read a chapter from the White Malice. For those who have been following anyway, okay? And if you have not been following, I think you should. And if you also have the book yourself, and if you have read the book, that's great. Okay, we are still going to take calls. But before we take calls, I am going to read through, have breaks, and then finally, once I get to so I'm going to be reading about 12 pages of, that's from chapter 10. That's going to be like pages 121 to pages 133. So let's get down to it quickly, and then you can get ready, okay, to call in. And then you can kind of add your own contribution at the end if you want to. Or if you really have to go and do something else, great. You can even listen to this like you are listening to a podcast, a radio podcast. So I'm going to read. And yeah, so if you are just joining us as well, please share this, okay? And thank you very much. So chapter 10 of the White Malice, the CIA and the neo-colonization of Africa. Thank you. So Ambassador Borden. Throughout the round table, a phalanx of journalists from all over the world sat at the back of the room, writing reports to send home. The American magazine Time described the conference as a mad melange of inflammatory speeches, door-slamming walkouts, rival press conferences, and angry communiques. It was headline news, but behind the headlines was another story, which was kept very quiet. Negotiation about the future of the Congo between Belgium and the USA. At their center was a pouchy, owlish, 6'1" American, William Bill Armistead, Mohale Borden Jr., who had flown to Brussels in early September 1959 as the new US ambassador to Belgium and the Belgian Congo. Borden, I'm gonna put this up here so that you can see my face. And then I can put my other one on, which is to also see my reading. Let's do it that way. Sorry about that. So Borden, here to the Vanderbilt fortune, was a wealthy New Yorker and patron of the arts. He had made substantial contribution to the Republican Party in the 1956 presidential campaign, hoping to be rewarded with the role of an American ambassador in France. Instead, he was offered Belgium, which he declined. He hankered for the sophistication of diplomatic life in Paris. But when it became clear that France was not in the cards, he was ready to compromise. And when he was offered Belgium and his African colony were going through a period of change of great importance to the US. And Belgium, unlike France, had a monarchy which had a special appeal for Borden, who relished opulence. He knew that the American ambassador would be expected to participate in many lavish royal events. Borden and his wife, Peggy, resolved to make a success of the appointment. They took his Cadillac to Brussels, along with some favorite paintings. The best butler he had ever had, and an excellent French chef. Came to establish his skill as a wine connoisseur. He also obtained a superb cellar of Bordeaux wines, including 50 cases of irreplaceable Chateau Cheval Blanc, 1947, which were conveyed to the embassy from Bonn in 2 truckloads. Wine from New York was added to the cellar. This collection of vintage wines, he wrote, with considerable satisfaction, some years later, made my reputation. Borden wrote a thick memoir in his later years, Peggy and I, A Life Too Busy for a Dull Moment. In it, he recorded a life of luxury, expensive meals, and the purchase of art and influence. His granddaughter, Wendy Borden, who also wrote a memoir, Dead End Gene Pool, which was a caustic account of growing up with William and Peggy Borden in their Fifth Avenue apartments. Cared for by a chain-smoking nanny. Her father, their eldest son, killed himself when she was 6. After her grandparents went to Brussels. In a memoir, Wendy Borden portrays her grandfather as a casual anti-Semite and a serious alcoholic. William and Peggy Borden were rarely seen without an alcoholic drink and spent several weeks in a clinic every year to dry out. Once, while visiting Paris, when he had just seen the latest model Mercedes-Benz, William called his private secretary in New York to instruct her to order 5 of them, one to be delivered in a few hours to him in Paris. Dead End Gene Pool gives the impression that Borden was superficial and dull-witted. But in fact, he appears to have been astutely intelligent, as well as ruthless. His professional background was as an aviation analyst, and during World War II, he was U.S. Assistant Secretary of Commerce for Air. In a debate in the British House of Commons towards the end of the war, he was described as one of the greatest experts on these subjects in the world. He was intensely interested in national defense and took the credit for convincing President Truman to go ahead with America's deployment of the hugely destructive hydrogen bomb over Robert Oppenheimer's vigorous objections. The pride he felt in his involvement is manifest in Peggy and I, where the only illustration in color is that of the fireball of the world's first thermonuclear explosion in Wetok Proving Grounds, which is in November 1st, 1952. Nicholson Baker, who has written with perspicacity on the horror of war, has described Borden as a mass destructionist. He notes that Baldwin was the least well-known of the U.S. Air Force's 3 most influential proponents of infectious warfare, united in a belief that weaponized disease was the way to win the war with the communists. Baldwin took tours of the U.S. Army's Special Operations Division, based at Fort Detrick, 50 miles from Washington in the Maryland town of Frederick, which, shrouded in secrecy, was the center of the U.S. biological weapons program. Baldwin, opposed to any sort of retaliation-only restriction on the use of biological weapons, asked in November 1951, what is being done about the policy of using biological weapons for other than retaliatory purposes? In 1957, he was appointed a public trustee of the Pentagon's Institute for Defense Analysis, a weapons research think tank, which he later described as one of the top priorities of my life. He was elected chairman of the institute in May 1959. Baldwin's business interests were wide-ranging. He founded the Wall Street investment company that bears his name, and at various times was the director of Lockheed Aircraft Corporation, the CBS television network, Anova Bank, and Allied Chemical, as well as other major companies. He was also a director of American Metal Climax, a mining company with extensive holdings in Central Africa. It was a large shareholder in Rhodesian Selection Trusts, which was closely linked to the Belgian Congo and obtained much of its energy from the Congo's hydroelectric sources. Baldwin saw himself as a central figure in the mining world of Katanga and Belgium. Having been in the mining business as a director of American Metals Climax, he stated some years after leaving Brussels, I knew a great many people in the mining business and a great many people in the Union Miniere who had direct knowledge of Congo affairs and who were much more realistic about what was likely to happen than the people in the Belgian government. And especially useful contacts, said Baldwin in an interview in 1971, was Mr. Senghir, who was the famous Union Miniere man who brought the new material necessary to produce uranium to the United States in the early stages of the war, on his own initiative and at his own risk. Baldwin was one of a number of powerful rich men associated with Ezinowa administration who had financial interest in the companies with a stake in Belgium and the Belgian Congo. Another was Christian H. Atta, the Secretary of State, who had family ties to Mobil Oil with direct investment in the Congo. C. Douglas Dillon, the Undersecretary of State, had family ties to Dillon, Reed and Company, which had managed the Belgian Congo's bond issues. Thomas Gates, the Secretary of Defense, had ties to Drexel and Co. and to Morgan Guarantee Trust, which had managed 2 $20 million loans to the Belgian Congo. Robert Bob Murphy was the director of Morgan Guarantee Trust. Murphy, who retired from the State Department in 1959, was one of Baldwin's predecessors in the role of U.S. ambassador to Belgium from 1949 to 1952. During that period, the U.S. was at war in Korea and concerned about protecting its exclusive supply of Congolese uranium ore. In November 1950, Murphy visited the Congo in order to evaluate the security of the Shinkolobwe area against outside attacks. Murphy saved the US a huge amount of money in 1951 over the purchase of Congolese ore. 4 years, he wrote later in his memoir, we had been able to import substantial amount of uranium ore from Katanga at prices below what was paid elsewhere. But now, Union Miniere justifiably felt it was entitled to a price increase. This amounted to a number of $1 million annually. Murphy was summoned to Washington for negotiation with Belgium. He suggested offering out the amount, which was accepted. There were tangible links between William Borden and the CIA. He was a director of the Farfield Foundation, the CIA front that financed such cultural organizations as the Congress for Cultural Freedom and its various projects and publications. Borden's name is listed on the foundation's letterhead. Borden was closely associated with the Museum of Modern Arts, MoMA, in New York, to which he donated valuable gifts of sculptures and paintings. Here, too, was a link with the CIA, which gave generous funding to MoMA. Borden was a trustee from 1943 and was elected as president in 1953. He was elected annually until 1959, when he resigned to go to Belgium, reprising this role after his return to New York. The museum's board was a who is who of CIA's connections, according to one commentator. Nearly everyone involved at the museum, he adds, had government connections, whether in the State Department, Foreign Service, or CIA. According to David Anfam, an authority on modern American art, the CIA was eager to support MoMA in order to promote abstract expressionism, which was developed after the Second World War by artists such as Jackson Pollock, as a foil to the Soviet realist style. It is a well-documented fact, observed Afam in 2016, that the CIA co-opted abstract expressionism in their propaganda war against Russia. He believes that the understanding the appeal of, he said, I'll take that again. He believes that understanding the appeal of abstract expressionism to the CIA is easy. The artworks produced under the movement showed that America was the land of the free, whereas Russia was locked up. Culturally speaking, the success of abstract expressionism also enabled New York to challenge Paris's role as the center of Western art. Borden referred to Allen Dulles, the director of the CIA under Eisenhower, as a lifelong friend. Dulles, like Borden, had close ties with American Metal Climax. The chairman of the board of trustees of the American Metal Climax was Harold Hochschild, who collaborated with the CIA in various ways, especially in Africa, and was well known to Dulles. Hochschild had been one of the founders of American Metal Climax, which had started life as American Metal Company and was later known as AMAX. American Metal Climax was part of a huge network. It had mines and smelters in Africa and Mexico and the US, company headquarters in New York, offices in other parts of the world, and ships that freighted the ore. Much of the network belonged to the subsidiaries or affiliates or joint ventures with other corporations. All these connections came together with the foundation of African American Institute in 1953, which was put on a solid financial footing by the CIA, with assistance from American Metal Climax. Dulles recruited prominent businessmen to the AAI board in order to take on this responsibility as a public service in the national interest. Trustees included William Borden, Harold Hochschild, Dana Creel, later the head of the Rockefeller Brothers Fund, and Alan Pfeffer, later the head of the Carnegie Corporation. The son of the Harold Hochschild was Adam Hochschild, who published King Leopold's Ghost in 1998. In 1986, he published Half the Way Home, a memoir of father and son about his childhood, which refers to the AAI, a new organization father had helped start, the African American Institute. In the book, Hochschild explains that his father had been chairman of his board for a decade. He then describes his father's reaction when the media revealed in the 1960s that the AAI was a CIA front. The next time I saw him, he writes, he seemed uncomfortable. He defended the link, saying that in its early years, there was nowhere else the Institute could have gotten enough money for his work. But he was clearly embarrassed that the whole thing had to be kept secret. Other members of the AAI board included African American intellectuals and writers, such as Horace Mann Bond of the CIA-funded AMSAC, Edwin S. Munger of the American University Field Staff, and Bob Keith, the chief editor of the AAI's journal, Africa's Special Reports. All three men had attended the All-African People's Conference in Accra in 1958. Newly appointed as the U.S. ambassador to Belgium in 1959, Baldwin was briefed to relevant CIA activities in late September 1959. 2 months later, he was concerned about the prospect of unrest in the Congo. He wrote to Deuce to ask if the CIA had done any work on the degree to which new weapons, such as some of the newer gases, might be used to deal with the type of rioting occurring in the various countries of Africa, with particular reference to the Congo. The agency's Africa division provided some notes on this topic for a planned conversation between Deuce and Baldwin. In March 1960, Ambassador Baldwin went on a 3-week fact-finding tour of the Congo with his wife and a group of Americans attached to the Brussels embassy. Owen Roberts, who was a consular officer in Leopoldville in 1958 to 1960, recalled the tour some years later. It was a revelation, he marveled. They had tape recorded and secretaries, extensive appointments made from Brussels, and they proceeded to analyze the whole situation in a few days. They were a big operation. Baldwin lists the members of the group in Peggy and I, but he omits one important member of the group, Larry Devlin. Devlin's chief responsibility at this time was to prepare for his forthcoming post as the CIA's chief of station in the Congo. He expected to move there at the time of independence. He had been appointed in late August 1959, following a briefing on the Congo in 1958 by Alain Deuce, who was on a visit to Brussels. I was assigned to serve as his driver, bodyguard, and General Man Friday, recalled Devlin years later. For in those times, directors traveled without an entourage. They also launched together. Deuce told Devlin that the United States could not afford to lose the Belgian Congo to the Soviet Union. He impressed on me that I would be playing a key role in his plans. Devlin agreed with Deuce's analysis. Soviet control of the Congo, he wrote in his memoir, Chief of Station, Congo, would give the Soviet Union a near monopoly on the production of cobalt, a critical mineral used in missiles and many other weapons systems, since the Congo and the USSR were the world's main suppliers of the mineral. Such a scenario, he argued, would put America's own weapons programs at a severe disadvantage. Cobalt, which was mined in the Congo, was indeed a strategic mineral of great value to the US. However, it was nowhere near as critical as the uranium from the Shinkolobwe mine. It is possible that Devlin was using the word cobalt as a cover for uranium, as it had been used in World War II. Congolese uranium ore had been packed in barrels marked special cobalt for the journey from Shinkolobwe to the US. Ambassador Borden, Mrs. Borden, Larry Delvin, and other members of the tour to the Congo flew from Leopoldville to Lulaborg, now Kananga, a capital of Kasai province, with Albert Kalonji, the leader of the Luba people, known as Baluba. Kalonji, who was the leader of the MNC faction that had pulled away from the Lumumba supporting branch of the party, was becoming increasingly hostile towards Lumumba. Moving on to Katanga, Borden's group visited some of the large mines and refineries of the Union Miniere. Katanga, noted Borden, contained very large copper mines, very rich uranium deposits, and important diamond mines. The general attitude of Union Miniere, he added, was that despite independence, over the long run, things will work out all right, and that they will continue to show confidence in the new country by continuing to make investments and modernizing their properties. In Elizabethville, the capital of Katanga, Ambassador Borden stayed at the Union Miniere guest house. Borden returned to Brussels at the start of April 1960 and made a number of recommendations to Washington. One of these was to send a top-notch ambassador to Leopoldville, since after 30th June, it would be necessary to replace the consulate general in the Congo with a fully fledged embassy. Borden's focus on planning greatly impressed Devlin, who thought he was one of the few people who showed any interest in the fact that the Congo was becoming independent. During the period of the roundtable in Brussels, Borden obtained permission from the Belgian government to meet some of the Congolese delegates. One of these was Lumumba, whom he invited to the American embassy. Judging by Borden's report to Washington on the meeting, he disliked Lumumba at first sight and felt a personal animosity towards the younger man. The Congolese leader arrived half an hour late, said Borden. Then he kept a taxi waiting in front of the embassy for the 40 minutes or so, which was covered by our conversation. This was worth noting. He observed, from the financial point of view, Lumumba was a highly articulate, sophisticated, subtle, and unprincipled unprincipled intelligence, judged Borden. He gives the impression of a man who would probably go far, he added, in spite of the facts that almost nobody trusts him. In his opinion, Lumumba was dangerously left-wing. Yet Lumumba had expressed a favorable opinion of the US. This believed burden was due in no small measure to the feeling that the American Negroes come in important numbers originally from the Congo and are hence the brothers of the Congolese. Baldwin and Lumumba did not have a shared language in which to communicate. Baldwin claimed fluency in French, the official language of Belgium, along with Flemish and the official language of the Belgian Congo. But as his memoir makes clear, he struggled with French and had to take intensive lessons in order to cope with the most basic demands of diplomatic life in Brussels. But the real obstacle to any understanding between the two men was the difference in their experience, background, and attitudes. The American was rich and privileged, with enhanced status in his own country because of the color of his skin. His book reflects a deeply held racism. The Congolese came from a poor family and was treated as a second-class citizen within his own country. Also, because of the color of his skin, he was suspicious of white Belgians as a result of his experience. But he was not suspicious enough of white Americans. Frank Kalushi III, who was attached to the US Embassy in Leopoldville shortly after independence, described an episode that revealed the trust Lumumba initially felt in Americans as opposed to Europeans. Lumumba had misunderstood Kalushi about an issue and screamed at him, "You Europeans are all you hypocrites. You promised me." Shortly afterwards, Kalushi asked Lumumba why he had screamed at him. Lumumba replied, "I didn't realize you were an American. I thought you were European." Larry Devlin suggests in his memoir that he himself was less concerned about the color of an individual's skin than with the individual's potential to advance his professional objectives. And unlike Borden, Devlin spoke French fluently. His wife, Colette, was a French woman he had met in Algiers during the World War II, when they were both engaged in intelligence work. Devlin was therefore able to converse with Congolese people who spoke French, but he did not learn any of the Congolese's 242 languages, including Lingala, Kiswahili, Kikongo, and Kiluba. One of the contacts Devlin established in Brussels during the roundtable was with Victor Nendaka, an ambitious politician who paid a visit to the American embassy on his own accord, without an invitation. Nendaka had previously been the vice president of MNCL, but by the time of the roundtable, he had left Lumumba's group for MNCK. According to Devlin, Nendaka went to the embassy and warned the political officer that Lumumba was already working closely with the Soviets. The officer, aware of my future assignment in the Congo, introduced me to Nendaka. Devlin was grateful for this introduction, although Nendaka had no experience in intelligence. Devlin wrote years later, he proved to be a quick learner. He was self-taught and had a brilliant mind. Nendaka's wife told Devlin that when they were first married, he preferred to stay home and read books rather than going out to dance and drink beer. Now, as the Congo prepared for independence, Nendaka was an ideal contact for Devlin. He recognized that American support was essential to the success of the new government and started to cultivate the most important officials in our embassy as I began to focus on him. The result was that we eventually became close friends. This friendship was to have huge ramifications for the Congo after independence. Ambassador Borden gave a reception in Brussels in January 1960 for the Congolese men attending the round table. One of the guests was Joseph Desire Mobutu. I met him, said Devlin, many years later, as I met a number of the leaders after the end of the roundtable conference. When Ambassador Borden gave a reception, at the reception he added, we each took the names of X number, I don't remember how many, of Congolese and tried to get an idea of who they were, if they were intelligent, competent. Because what we had up until that time were assessments provided by the Belgians. From this indicated Devlin emerged the connection with Mobutu. The reaction was that here is a man who is a strong nationalist, intelligent, and who seems to have leadership qualities along with others. For several of the others, the reaction was rather negative. This was not truthful, since Mobutu was already serving Devlin as an informer. There was widespread suspicion of Mobutu in Congolese circles during the roundtable. It was widely believed that he had been an informer in the pay of Belgium from the late 1950s. Jeff Van Bilsen, who was at the roundtable as an advisor to Abako, personally warned Lumumba that Mobutu was working as an informer. He pointed out that this made MNCL vulnerable. Given Mobutu's prominent role in the party, Lumumba responded that he was already aware of this and that it was an innocent way for Mobutu to bring in some extra income. Lumumba knew personally the difficulties of financial hardship, but he had also developed a dangerously soft spot for Mobutu. The network of part-time informers to the Belgian Security Service was extensive. On 11th April 1961, Congo Dian Unguga, the principal organ of Abako, devoted several pages to a list of informers discovered in the Belgian colonial records. Mobutu's relationship with the Devlin was explored at an important conference on events in the Congo in 1960 and 1961, which was held in 2004 at the Woodrow Wilson International Center for Scholars in Washington, D.C. Attendees included Larry Devlin, Thomas Kanza, who represented Lumumba's government at the United Nations and was later a minister in the government of President Laurent Desire Mobutu, Kabila, Cleophas Kamitatu, the provincial president of the Parti Solidaire Africain, the political scientist Georges Unzogola Untalaja, who described himself as a scholar of the Congo as well as a native of the Congo, Stephen R. Westman, former staff director of the U.S. House of Representatives Subcommittees on Africa, who is an expert on U.S. foreign policy in the Congo, and the American political scientist Herbert F. Weiss, who conducted research on the Congo for the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, between September 1959 and mid-1962. Unzogola Untalaja asked probing questions about the CIA's use of Mobutu as an agent, but this was firmly resisted by Devlin. There was a clear distinction, he said, between an agent and a cooperator. It was never an agent by my assessment. explained, Devlin. Rather, he was a cooperator because we both seemed to be going in the same direction. And therefore, there was a certain collaboration. Devlin was adamant that Mobutu was never recruited. When asked if Mobutu was given a stipend, he evaded the question. You don't have to be an agent to receive a stipend. He argued defensively. An agent is a person to whom would say, we expect you to do this and do that. Mobutu was never a person to whom we could say, do this, and this, and this. But what Devlin did acknowledge was that the CIA had assessed the Congolese politicians long before independence. There were still several months to go before the Congo's first democratic elections in its history, but the CIA had already identified Mobutu as a future leader who was susceptible to the American influence, someone to cultivate and to promote. The end of that chapter. Thank you so much for listening. We shall then go on to America and Africa, which is going to be the part 4 of the book on our next reading. Thank you once again for listening. So we shall take a break and we shall take calls. So all of you who have 1 or 2 things to say as your own contribution to this chat, your turn is next. Like this broadcast, share it if you haven't already. And when I come back, I will take calls. So don't go anywhere yet, okay? Don't. Thank you. Listen, we have, let me see. We have like an hour to take in calls this afternoon, okay? And that could be you. That could be you. So I have a caller. Hello there.
Hello, Maiyegun. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Fine. It's Michael from Turkey.
It is Michael. How are you today, Michael?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Great.
I want
so
to
for joining us.
I want to thank you for everything you're doing normally. I mean, it can't be enough. We can't always appreciate you enough, you know.
Thank you.
I don't even know where to start from because I'm just laughing. It's difficult. I've been laughing throughout.
So which of them would you say is actually cracking you up even more? Is it the tumble or the state of the Nigerians that are singing and dancing just to remind the government that they are hungry? Or which of them? Because the whole place is actually like going up. The whole place is like a joke town now.
It's a joke town. You got it right. It's a joke town. And I like the word you used when you were like instead of Sowore to say we are going on a protest, let's just say we are going to express our anger. You know, just when you express it, you just say, you know what, bro, I dey go Ikeja, you know that kind.
Afterward, when you finish expressing yourself, when you sing, when you dance, you can say, see, bro, I need to quickly catch the bus going to Ikeja. I get appointment there where I go, yeah? Because this is not something that will change the mind of your criminal politician, ever.
You know, I wrote something in the comment section. I said, if only these 200 million people actually know their power, they have no idea their power. It baffles me because when I see people that don't know the power they have, forget the army, all the army, they are holding gun. If the army overthrows the government now, you will see America, Britain, all of them say, hey, it's a lie, we can't recognize them. Hey, they're illegal, illegal people. But guess what? If it's the people that overthrow these guys, everybody
they go they beg them. They go they beg them. Okay. Let's see. Okay, everybody should leave. They will tell all these criminals to leave. Now, you see, they are friends, Americans. They will tell them that, you know what, you would have to leave, or your people don't reject you.
You will have to leave. America will beg us and say, okay, you have to leave. Oh yeah, who do you want to be your leader? They will come and
they will begin to say, let's go negotiate with the protesting citizens. Who are your leaders? What do you want? How do you want this to go now? Now, from that time, when I go come, they say, okay, before any election happen for this contraption, and like this will go be, and like this will go be. Exactly. This is why they sing solely. Now, I'm beginning to kind of not like that song anymore. It's sounding so stupid these days. Solely, any small thing. Solely.
That is it. That's why you could see the army, the police, all of them are just waiting to go to the next joint.
Yeah, next checking point. These guys are done. No, they go.
Well, you all of you are going up and down. But in a way, I don't know. Is it because of the NSAS protest that these guys are afraid? But I don't know how to explain this, but people really need to know that they have enormous power. That power is more than the president, more than governor. It just
you can run these people out of town. The only thing that is holding you back is your fear. Nobody say you don't want to die. I don't want to. You are dying already. People are dying already. So this one, when we say I don't want to die, people don't want to die. That one is nonsense. You know, they make sense again.
As for Kalu that is going to fall, that he was trying to jump on top car and he said that I have no sympathy for him.
Don't.
Zero sympathy.
Zero.
Because number one, a lot of young people have died because he wanted to become the same president. He has seen the people you denied to grow old. Then you now want us to respect you.
Say if we don't respect you, we don't go grow old. But you know they shakara us. We don't say your intention is not to let us grow old anyway.
What is it? These guys, if it is possible for these old guys to wipe out all the young people, they are ready to do it. They will do it. And they have no remorse about it. They have no remorse. So why should I not be, with the rest?
You say it's an elderly person. How many of you wait for elderly grandpa for house? Are still looking for a job for them. Now you want them to go and start a job. How many people here will get grandpa for house? They send them to go look for a job again. But yet you want a sick man to heal a sick country.
Imagine. And the funniest is that all the propagandists, APC, Agbadoma, all of them, the moment that fell came and they saw that the video was going right, they just started coming. People like Bayo Onodoga came, gave statements. Why are you giving statements over a phone? What has football got to do with the statement?
They go explain
statement about another thing. That is Nigeria for you. They are very the major in the minor, minor in the major. That is very, 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 very annoying. If we keep educating them, but
we'll keep showing it to them. That's what they don't like. Are you mocking us now? Are you mocking us? Instead of you don't know what God can. Oh, when you leave God out of this, I beg you. Yeah, I'm not. Are you mocking us? And yes, I'm mocking you. What do you go do? Are they mock you? Because every action they say gets a consequence. That's how I talk to them. I tell them that if they come to me and say, "Are you?" Instead of you to not mock us, don't mock people. Yeah, don't mock people if they are not well. So say Thiefnubu know well. But yet you wanted a sick man to be your president. It can't fall now. You won't come gaslight me. You won't gaslight me, say make I no react. Who does that?
Anyway, the last one is about this Anyoma state.
Oh, you want to react to that? Go on. Yeah, please.
Just a little bit. Just that was my last contribution. Because me, myself, I am from Anyoma. I'm from Isele Oku, Idimuje Uno. Anybody that know that place, you know that that's my state. The reason why I will support this state creation, even though there's no reason for creating state, because the old ones that we have, they've not even done anything to it.
I understand.
This is the best time to start uniting all the Igbos. I am totally supporting this Anyoma state creation, and it should put it back into the southeast. It will be easier for the
there's this campaign, and I'm not going to say all of the Benin or Edo people, sure you get, but there are this 1, 2, 3 people from this Edo or Benin that are more angrier than the Robo, the Jaws in Delta. Okay,
imagine.
So they are more angrier that the Igbo speaking, the Igbo people in Anyoma and all this Isele and all these areas, so they are angry that they want to belong to their fellow brothers and sisters in the real, Igbo speaking states, and they are more enraged, and I don't understand why. I've actually seen them said a lot of things. So some of the videos I couldn't even put them up. You are not from Delta State. Why are you this angry? Why are you angry that they are discussing about the Igbo speaking? No, they are not Igbo. Anyoma is not Igbo. And all of them are like, okay, I'll wait for people from Anyoma to tell me they are not. You are from there.
The funny thing that when I watched that your video yesterday and I watched the space, I was angry. I wanted to actually be in that space because Vivian, the girl that was in that space, which is from Anyoma too, she wasn't really explaining it.
She wasn't pushing enough point to shut those guys up.
Mm-hmm. You cannot tell me where I'm coming from. You cannot tell me my history. I am from there. You that are from Edo State, go and attack yourself with your Oba. What's your business with Anyoma? If you want to be divided, and I can agree, I can understand
crisis,
Exactly. I can understand why guys from Anyoma are trying to distance themselves from the Igbo guys and all. Because during anybody that remember the Asaba massacre, I don't think after you go through that, you won't want to be part. You'll be like, no, anything about war, I know they lined up my people. They lined up people. If I see any descendant of Murtala Muhammad, I swear to God that I'm capable of assassinating them. I'm telling you the fact. They lined up my people that without guns, without any women are dead. They separated the women. Oh, yeah, you come here. Then the men that said they are not with weapons, unarmed people, you killed all of them in daylight, broad daylight.
People that came out, they actually came out to welcome the soldiers. They were flying there as this white handkerchief. They were dancing. They were dancing to say, oh, Muritala was coming to see them. Okay, and since now that the war in Asaba called the federal troop have taken over Asaba, therefore we should come out to. And you now matched it like, come on, man. That's part of the oral. That is why I will never in my life call Muritala a hero.
Yes,
ever.
That's why I can understand why some Anyoma guys are so scared. Because even my dad at that time was only 6 years old. He was running from the north, from the north with my grandmother. A lot of people died in that war. A lot of people are feeling so traumatic about it. So if some people
they have to deny their connection altogether.
Exactly. So that is why, in a way, this bill, it may not be looking normal. So people like, oh, it is not useful. For me, in terms of identity, in terms of uniting this Igbo, you cannot unite. You cannot divide the Igbo into 5 small states and say they are South. There are Igbos in Benue. There are Igbos in Kogi.
And now there are Igbos who share part of Kogi. There are Igbos in Benue. There are Igbos in Rivers. There are Igbos, all these borders where you see Igbo state, right? They intentionally cut some of these Igbos they make them minority.
Minority in all the
in those
states. And
places.
that's what I say. I cannot be a minority in Delta State. You know, I cannot be a minority in Delta State when I can easily be a majority.
In the majority in the Igbo land, exactly. And this is not even like you. See, you did not migrate to your current place, so you are indigenously connected to the place as your ancestral land. Now, people when they draw map, draw you into a place and can't go make you minority there.
So that is why, see, if this move happen, if a normal create a state and merge into the east like normal, guess what? Many of all these minority Igbo groups, they will start asking for their states. He get there, and Idoma, maybe in the southern part of Benue, if I'm right, they will start saying they want to do their own, and drag them back to the east. People that are saying Ikwere people that are in Port Harcourt, they will say, no, we want the real Ikwere people, not the fake Wike people. The real Ikwere people say they want their own state, next back into the east, So it just will be out.
Is that not why we are saying that this contraption should be renegotiated? Let everybody actually tell where they want to be. Nobody is being dragged to be part of anything, okay? Give the people the chance to say, we want to belong here, we don't want to belong here. And all this mess can actually end. Sure, you know.
It will end because they know that the southeast, the Igbo land, not even the east, the main Igbo land is way bigger than what they are drawing on that map.
They know.
I saw the new proposal. I saw it when they said Middle Belt Western State. I don't know if you saw it or something like that.
I haven't.
There's the new map. I think they divided into 8 or something. Like Middle Belt have 2. They have Middle Belt West, Middle Belt East, then Southwest, South, they call it South, then Southeast, and then Southeastern Central. And I saw Southeastern Central. I said, what is Southeastern Central? And I saw five states in between the southeast, the south, and the southwest. They put
now have some people we can all be whatever we want to be. The bottom line is that nobody has been asked if they want to be part of Nigeria. Yeah, you've heard people that will say, me, I love my country. Me, I love Nigeria. It's all lies, okay? You know what? Those who claim to love it and those who claim they don't want it, give us a referendum and let us all decide and see what will happen. Let me take another one.
Thanks for everything. I will continue to educate.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You take it easy, okay? So here is another caller on the line. Hello there.
Good afternoon, Maiyegun.
Good afternoon, ma'am. How are you?
It's me, Flora.
Hey, my lady. Here you are again. You are able to get through this afternoon.
Yes, because I just feel that this afternoon, let's say, not the too busy like.
No, you're not too busy. No.
Yeah, that yes, I get one very important thing to share, to share with you.
Please.
That got me thinking. But before now, sorry,
so,
that I was supposed to, when they had this breakfast day, I was supposed to come.
I know. I was looking out for you. I was looking for somebody to pull. Few ladies pulled me, and I was expecting you to be one of them, but no.
I know. Yours truly. The grandchildren, they just dropped them for me unexpectedly.
Oh, I see.
They just disorganized me that day.
I get that then. Right. I get that. Well, anyway, it was fun though, right? Please, ma'am.
These people, they got me thinking, and it's like I was thinking about myself. Last Friday, the Duke and Duchess of Westminster, they were there at Chester Cathedral.
That's right.
And they were these old women. One is in fact, Sheila is the one that really. This Sheila is from Bristol,
right?
And she worked with NHS for about 50 years or so.
Oh.
Herself and one of our friends went there waiting for these two couples. Do you know what they had with them? Wow. They had a extinguisher, fire extinguisher. Yeah.
Okay.
And they hit this fire extinguisher. inside the, you know, old people's, our old people's trolley.
Right.
Nobody expected anything. Nobody knew that they were this, you know, you remember this?
Like they were ready to actually, was that meant for an attack? Like they want to, okay.
They just want, listen, they just put it there. This Just Stop Oil protesters. They want to target the Duke and the Duchess of Westminster wedding.
I get you.
Okay? Now, when the couple just come out, they can't spray them. They didn't spray them. They just sprayed it in the air, releasing orange powder as the newlywed Duke and Duchess left the Chester Cathedral.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So Sheila said they not arrest, of course, they arrested them. And Sheila said, yes, they agree that wedding are a time of coming together in celebration, at least to make a commitment to the future.
Mm-hmm.
But however, for the countless millions around the world, there's no future unless everybody come together to stop this oil and gas. So their demand was that they are demanding that the next UK government work with other countries to phase out this fossil fuel by 2030.
The climate change advocates sort of, those are so daring, ma'am. They are very, very daring.
And it got me thinking. I said, look at the age, 69 and 70. Now, our old people, old men, not the great future for our youth. The Sheila is 69. The other one is 73.
Wow.
So what stops our young people back home to protest for their future?
Real one, real protest.
And what's got, look, and there's nothing with the way the things are going, when you really look at it, except this government keep making huge mistake. Now I go drive all of them out. They're not ready.
Well, exactly. We've been waiting for that time. Like, there is so much people who are going through a lot right now, ma.
They are
right? They want to be sort of incentivized or somehow, like they want somebody to give them something before they can. I don't understand.
I don't understand it. Even the old people were supposed to say, oh, we don't live our life. Okay, let's help these children. No, now they put roadblock for them.
I tell you, then they give us conditions, we don't get respect. They even threaten us that do you want to grow old like this? You better watch your mouth. Say, your policies are going to kill all of us before we turn 60. You're talking about growing old. Let us even live first. We want to live first. Let's even enjoy it. Let's live life first. They are stealing all of their, their childhood from them. These people are growing up so fast these days without experiencing life at all.
The older people, not just, I said these two women, they said they are fighting for their grandchildren, all our children, and all the future generation.
When they are no longer here, yes, ma'am. They care about what will be. What will the world be like when we are no longer here? Something has to be done now. But this one's for Nigeria.
Oh my God. Oh my God. If you go online, like to be honest, I always watch Arise. If you see all their comments, you just say, Nigeria not ready.
Honestly.
Nigeria not ready.
And let us all tell ourselves, right? Nigeria and Nigerians, they are not ready.
They are not ready.
We are waiting as the whole thing is brewing. I mean, what kind of protest be that, ma'am? 15 people. They sing solely.
Yes.
If you are a state governor, would you take them serious?
No.
You just drive past and pass them and be like, well, when they are done, they will go home when they are hungry.
Exactly.
So they are not ready.
They're not ready. It's something I listen to no other person. They just listen to know what is going. In fact, why I listen to you, you make me to justify every day, to make me happy every day for the decision I don't take about 2023.
I believe that last which one?
The decision I took 2021 to set up everything where in Nigeria. I'm telling you.
If you want to live long and all of that, if you have any alternative that's going to keep you away from Nigeria, please use it.
Peace. I want peace of mind. Just peace of mind. I don't want anything. No.
It's a place where dog eats dog now, ma. Everybody want to take chance or advantage of another. Everyone has something.
It's the young ones that is making me. The young ones is making me sick. They don't know what they are into. The shit they are into. At least the ones where feel commot, they don't feel commot. But the ones where they there, they don't know what is going on at all. Anyway, that's the way they want it.
Thank you so much.
That's the way they want it. And
people should understand that there is always going to be consequences after elections. And this is one of them.
Oh, big time, big time.
You know, if they don't stop them, they won't stop. I keep saying that.
They won't.
Now they are now belaboring them with 2027 regional Ds, extensive that, all these distractions, right? Still making them feel like maybe there is something that will come out of Nigeria. I hope majority is not buying it, honestly. The level at which they are all shouting hunger. I would expect that if they hear anything about protests like this, some everywhere should just pack up and
not lie.
You go to see them there. I'm going to my house. You are disturbing us. You are blocking the road. You are this or that. I mean, what kind of life is this, too?
I say why I know that it's a possible. When I speak to my I said, well, yeah, it's true. I have extended relatives there. They will say, oh, sister, you are talking negative. You are too negative. I said,
too negative.
I said, it's what is happening now. It's what they are doing. That is what I'm telling you. It's not me. It's what they are doing. It's not me.
They want you to tell them that, well, God will do it. There's no
God will do nothing.
God. They want you to say that.
The decision, the government, it's not me. It's not me saying it.
And it doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter what you say. But whatever these guys are doing is exactly what touches everybody's life, including your own life here too. Because their own burden still comes to us, don't they?
I know. Maiyegun, it's always beautiful to talk to you.
It's a pleasure.
Greet Ma Akinola.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell him that the time will say hello.
I will say that to him and to them, by the way. So thank you so much, ma'am. Okay. And send me well to those, to your, to the grandkids there too. Okay.
Yeah,
if they were here, I would have said, how do you think Nana does whenever you spend time with Nana, right?
They are not here. I always dodge. Come on, too.
Bless you, ma'am. So you have a good one, okay?
Thank you so much for what you are doing. God bless.
And you too, ma'am. Thank you so much. Bye. Now, that's our lady there, Flora. You probably are very much familiar with her. If you are on the YouTube branch of the temple, it's an interesting place, right? It's a place where, the big tech, not like Facebook, okay? Facebook, where they have, they have shadow banned me for over 3 years now. I've got over 500,000 subscribers or followers on Facebook. But I promise you that 99.9% of them don't even receive any notification from me anymore. And it was Facebook who did that. Or YouTube, right? Everybody gets their notification. You can comment, you can share. It's only on Facebook that you complain of not being able to comment or share. Go on to YouTube. What are you going to lose? You watch Maiyegun on Facebook. Sorry. You watch Maiyegun on Facebook every now and then, right? It's the same thing. Somebody said, the YouTube is, that one take too much data. I was like, oh, come. You spend 3 hours watching Maiyegun on Facebook. Who says you can't see the same on YouTube? It's the same. So go there and you have people to engage with seriously. And you possibly should meet Lady Flora there. She's active. And thank you so much. I have another caller. Here, hello. Or have I lost you? I shouldn't. I was expecting you to, sorry, the network was bad. So let's see if I can get you back. So I will put, okay, that should be it. So hopefully if you manage to get back here, okay, you will be connected, right? So like I said, you can be part of this like everyone else. The number is on your screen. And Chike is awake. Thank you very much, Chike. For that, you've always been that generous like others too, okay? So thank you so much. Here is a caller. I hope I get you connected. Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Maiyegun.
Oh, good afternoon, sir. How are you?
It's everything, sir.
Well, very well. Thanks for asking. Yourself?
I'm good. This is Adeza from Edinburgh.
It's my brother, my neighbor, Adeza from Edinburgh. You back?
How are you doing today?
How are you today?
Yeah, good. Well, I just want to make a few comments on what is happening in Nigeria.
Please.
You know, that is saying that there is power in the crowd. For what has been happening all this while, and the cry that Nigerians are always crying, I expect a mass protest all over Nigeria today, irrespective of the threat that the police and the DSS issue to Nigerians. I expect
the impression that you are really, really hungry and you are angry too.
Yes.
You know, but no.
I expect that everywhere will be blocked and there will be mass protests to drive down their request.
This one day, do it. No.
Yes.
We never.
Unfortunately, it is where 2 or 3 are gathered. Just as you said, they will never take them serious. I used to quote this quote of this Martin Luther, that no slave master voluntarily allowed the slave to go until the slave demand for it. So I think, just as we were saying, they are not yet tired. They can still eat. They can still buy 1 or 2 things in the market. When it comes to the point, they have no option. They will all troop out. That is why it is easy for police to conquer them when 2 or 3 people gather. But when we have millions of people on the street, how many people can police control? Police will even be afraid of their life because they know when they do anything wrong, and this mob are they will respect that they cannot use force on everybody. But when it is 2 or 3 people, they can easily control them and even deal with them. So that you will keep on watching the development. Like the issue of the NSC, I told you last week that the NSC, they are not serious. It's just like you are fighting with somebody. Understand, you are able to hold the sensitive part of that person body, and the person is shouting, and you tell you, say, don't worry, leave me. When you leave me, we will settle. And the person did not settle at that moment, and you leave him, there will be no settlement anymore.
There is none.
Understand? That is exactly what
they play themselves.
If they could have shut down the system throughout that last week, and they decide and agree on a particular thing, it could have settled the matter. The agreement they made, there was no even concrete agreement. It's just, okay, let's step down, then you relax. Now, the government has devised a means now. I'm telling you, anytime they want to do this, the security forces will clamp down on them, and they cannot do, and it will not be effective as that one that happened last week again. So these are some of the issues. That means labor do not know how to bargain very well. They should go and learn what is called bargaining. If you want to bargain, there's a point you reach. There's no turning back again until you are able to get things right. So, like they call you that some assaulted at the Eagle Square today. So
they said he tripped, and he's not a Superman. That's not something that all of you should be happy about. Are you right? How should we be happy then? Or we should cry for him? They are all over the social media now trying to prove to us that it's nothing big.
This is so wicked. Since they come to power, that they only give us half dead men. Same thing with Boko Haram. They cannot even bring somebody that has stamina.
No.
That is strong, that can withstand any hardship, any tough time. No. They only bring half dead people to.
Person we won't carry Nigeria. Now in they carry so. Person they stand on his mandate. Now in the force.
Sorry.
Brother Leonard. There.
All right, thank you so much, sir.
God bless you so much, Adeza. Yeah, thank you so much as well for joining this hour. Listen, my time is kind of rounding up now. So we have just about 40 more minutes, possibly, maybe. Let's see if I can get more of us to join. I mean, to hang on. See, I always have all these useless notifications that popped up here. And they pop up in a way that they just like pop, like that. Anyway, if you are still watching me, remember you need to share this if you haven't already. But if you joined us at midway, right? Well, this is the phone call segment of the conversation, okay? You might watch this all over again if you want. So I have a caller. Hello.
Yeah, Maiyegun. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's Bob from Amsterdam.
Say that again, from Amsterdam. Rob, I mean, is that Bob or Rob?
Bob.
It is Bob. Thank you so much, man.
Yes.
Bob, how are you this morning or this afternoon?
I'm fine, Maiyegun.
Right.
And you? You good?
Well.
Your family?
We thank God.
Everybody.
Thanks for asking. Thank you.
Maiyegun, the thing that happened today, they call protest. I thought these people are planning something serious.
Honestly.
I was watching what you're showing. Some group are somewhere dancing. Some are somewhere doing like they're begging for their right. Do you people beg for their right, or you show some force like you want your right?
Like you want it, exactly.
Yeah, but this one they're not
like
even.
Somebody has
They're
taken
not
something from you. But nobody say you're going to beg them and sing and dance. But protest.
No, the thing we never serious, and I don't think we can. I don't think we can ever be serious, because when a woman, they say use this proverb, when a woman is running and still hold her breast, which means what is pursuing her is not serious.
Yes.
Because if what is pursuing the woman is serious, you wouldn't remember she gave breast self.
You know?
But this one, they still remember that they can protest and dance. Dancing for what? Do you want to show the people that you are angry?
You're not fighting.
Yeah.
You're just singing, man.
So singing, you can say you can always sing for your rights. We can understand.
Always sing for our rights, or we can always dance for our rights. Which one is we are always fighting for our rights?
No, I agree. Since I'm seeing protests around the globe, Nigeria only is not protest. You can see that on seriousness. The morale, there's no morale in anything there. There's nothing like single morale, like, hey, this is the time we have to show these people. It's not there.
They want the government to end hunger, to end joblessness, to end insecurity, to end this, to end that. Then you sang, and you went home.
That's it.
So then you come back later to come and do the same thing again. End hunger. And come on, man. There's a time for all of this. It's time to actually stop that nonsense now. Man.
And the opportunity really thought for them to do that today. Very big opportunity. And they blow it again. The same way the Labour blew the opportunity that they almost got in. And believe me, this Labour man that even tried that for the first, Michael Play said they will not poison him before next month.
Which one? Ajeru?
Ajeru, yeah. They can decide this. They can even bribe him and still poison him on top. So next person will go take that post. That next person will go take the post will not even think of it. Because they know how to make people, they know how to make Nigerians very scared of them.
Yes, now.
They know.
Because the only thing they are selling is always fear. You saw their policemen talking about anarchy, talking about people should want their children, blah, 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 blah. They are always like that. But guess the areas where the people need them most, they are still there, vulnerable. No policemen, no military, nobody helping them as we speak. But you see those ones where we carry placard, police have enough personnel, okay, to intimidate them with. Very unfortunate.
Yeah. Very, very unfortunate, Maiyegun. Very, very unfortunate. Wow. It's like what they're doing now in the state creation of state or whatever. Who do they consult even? Who did they? For example, now Maiyegun, as you're from Ijebu tomorrow, they will tell you, yeah, we just decide to merge Ijebu with some Fulani state. Who did they consult you?
Nobody. They don't consult anybody. I don't be citizen.
No, they're using the same formula.
I'm sure you get. If you tell me, say, who did they consult you? You are talking to me as if to say I'm a citizen. Nobody consulted before they created anything in that contraption. They just create them, and then you see, I am fighting for my state. I will defend my state. Day, you be all day. Which state? Because they create that. They say, okay, oh, yeah, you be Ogun now. You be Imo now. You, Zamfara. They say, you Zamfarans. Says Zamfarans. Imo-lights. So Anambra, you go that place, you be Anambra might. We are Imo. So who created you? Do you really think if you were asked to have your own input in creating even ordinary local government area, do you think you will be in the same local government with the people you are with right now if you are given a choice? The answer is no.
No.
You get. So
exactly.
if you tell me, say, then consult me, you dey talk to me like say I be citizen. Nobody will be a Nigerian citizen by Bob. Who will know they deceive ourselves?
No, they are using the same template. Their colonial master used to bring them together. You are now Nigeria. The same thing they are using.
You are now Nigerians. So yeah, fellow Nigerians, yes, fellow Nigerians. I'm a proud Nigerian. So there's another Fulani from Putasoro that is on his way to Nigeria. He is a Nigerian. In case if you don't know.
Shy. Yeah,
there is you did they shall say you be Nigerian, Abi. Okay, do you know that there are some Fulani terrorists coming on their way to their country, Nigeria? And you have to find somewhere else to go because they need land. A proud Nigerian, God forbid.
Oh, Maiyegun. Well, thank you very much, Maiyegun. Just keep it up, yeah? May God be your friend.
God bless
it's
you.
Not an easy job.
The Thiefnubu anthem, small, if you don't mind. Thiefnubu anthem o ìgboro ti dàrú ìlú ti bàjẹ́ everything ti propoye ìgboro omokuna continue to deceive yourself. You better go learn am. Thiefnubu anthem. Here is another caller. Hello.
Hello, sir. Maiyegun. Good afternoon, sir.
Hey, Idris, how are you, Baba?
I'm fine. Oh, I'm fine, sir.
Right.
I'm fine, sir. And thank you for the enlightenment always, sir. We keep appreciating you.
Thank you so much.
And firstly, I'll first say, please, those of us that we are here, please, let's try to like the broadcast. And back to what is happening today, June 12th. June 12th.
How is June 12th in Nigeria, by the way, Idris?
Oh, We are actually celebrating hunger. We are celebrating hunger. We are celebrating every manner of bad thing because
happy celebration.
I can't even. I don't know. Is it? Should we say happy celebration? Because okay, I'm just speaking to myself.
You know,
I am speaking to myself now. Okay, what has Nigeria benefited me? Because since the day I have been born to this country and to the current state of age I am now, I have not benefited anything. Okay, now let's talk about the hospital, the general hospital. Maiyegun, if you don't have less than 50,000 naira, you would die. Someone would die at the gate of the hospital, general hospital, be it Lasu, be it Bagada, be it is it the Idiaraba?
So
go to the go to the A and E, the emergency
hospitals, right? If you find yourself in any hospital, before they even check you or what's going on, even you going to the hospital,
you need to
do your best to hold.
You will need to pay. You will
50K, Abi.
Maiyegun, you will need to pay. You will need to pay for bed. General hospital.
But that has always been the issue.
It's really happening.
But it is how much they are charging now that we can look into. See, we all know that from time immemorial, people, they pay for oxygen, they pay for bed, they pay for this, they pay for that. And those who can pay have the privilege. But the problem now is that what is it like for people to be able to pay for those beds now? Are they like what they were before, or was it propoye?
So Maiyegun, I want to bring a real scenario of what happened at last week at Ikeja. Yes. I think last year. Yes, we brought in. No, sorry, it's not even last year. It is during the COVID-19 era.
Okay.
So someone actually died, and we took the person to that hospital at Ikeja. When we got there, they administered their normal thing inside the vehicle. We brought the person, and the next thing they told us is that before we can deposit any person inside that place, we need to go to so what they actually do is they have a special, a private morgue inside the general hospital where we have to pay. Okay, when we took the person down to the place, now do you know that we are told that we are to go and run a COVID-19 test, something for that person. Okay, how much is COVID-19? About 50,000. Sir, this is reality that I'm telling you. Another thing happened when we took another person that is in critical condition. We took that person to loot at Idiaraba. We had to stay for like 3 hours at the gate of that area that we were even shouting. They said we should go and deposit money that before we can get into the hospital. We should go deposit. So I'm not bringing everything that what are
you are bringing.
They've not checked the person. They say, okay,
we should go and do some. But you have to go and deposit.
Exactly.
Is that a new thing? Is that what they do now? Because I don't understand.
Exactly, that is what they do. If another person calls, that is exactly.
Idris, what happened is that this is your experience you are sharing with us right now. And I want to believe that if there are those who have similar experiences, they are already sharing them in the comment section as well. Sure, you get. But back then, what I believe they normally do was, once you bring somebody in, they will check them and this or that, and they will say if that person is going to be kept for care, they will ask you to go and deposit money, but they will first tell you what you are up to. So what you are saying right now is that you, from your own experience, you took somebody to the hospital, critical condition, to the UAE. I say UAE, A&E, right? So. Yes. But before you can even get to inside the building, at the gate, they said you have to go and first deposit 50,000 before they can even check that person to know what is wrong with them. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, exactly. So they are very cruel when it gets to anything general hospital. It's just like you are there is no guarantee of life when you get to any general hospital in Lagos. Because when you have been taken there, or when they refer you to that place, just know that you are just in the middle of life and death. There is no certainty that you will come out alive. So another thing is, what has Nigeria benefited me? Okay, good. Is it about the road? I am paying directly or indirectly from the money that they are removing. So what is there to celebrate? What is there exactly to celebrate? As when Thiefnubu enter now, when Thiefnubu enter the government, I have been out of job, no job, and the job that probably
more businesses are living now.
They are living. So
and every time
so
we talk about
what I'm just saying is that
living, people don't know that this is actually like jobs living. People are becoming jobless every now and then.
People are becoming jobless. No food to eat, nothing. People have resorted to doing bad things. Sir, Maiyegun, I think there was a one time that please, I would like you to please do probably a one section about this addiction of betting addiction. It has taken a lot of people in Nigeria to another level. Please, I just want you to dedicate probably 1.5 to noon. Do a research about betting.
I know
gambling.
a lot about
just enlighten.
Of betting.
It has.
See, there was the time I wanted to do a program on that, but I just kind of felt like it's going to be a waste of time because there are some factors, right, that makes the pandemic, what you call the betting pandemic, gambling pandemic, to sort of become huge in Nigeria. Idris, thank God you said something about that. I'll say this to you here and for others who are also listening. You see, there is something about countries that are poor economically. And it has always been like that, especially if you have a country where your leaders are like pure criminals, okay, chancers, we just want to take advantage of everything, right? So what you're going to have is that you're going to have the increased religious superstition. So people are going to believe more in things they tell them about religion, about spirit and all of, because they are always looking for answers to their financial problems, okay? And in that process, right, they get opened up to other things, all right? Now, in the poor countries that is poorly managed, you are going to see those who are going to come in and take advantage of those poor people by giving them loans. They're called the loan sharks, okay?
The loan sharks, yeah.
The loan sharks. You will see a lot of them. In Nigeria now, they've skyrocketed. You know that, Sabi?
Exactly.
Blown up.
Exactly.
It is all synonymous
to poor. People do not even fear. People are not even fearing of their debt.
People don't have money to pay. They will borrow. They will still borrow. They don't have money. They know they can't pay. That is to tell you the level of economic ruin that Nigeria is in. These are symptoms of a failed country. And you see, in that process, right, people are going to be looking for easy way out. Then what are you going to get next? Surprisingly, you're going to start seeing gambling houses, betting houses. They're just going to be springing up here and there. So everywhere you turn to, if you turn left, you will see church preaching to you that you can make it. If you turn right, you will see gambling houses saying that you can take your chance. So this is a pandemic that ordinarily, right, it will actually take a whole holistic systemic cleansing. I'm talking about a country that is going to actually get restarted. They have to restart Nigeria. So there's no amount of what I say here that can help the people. The people have been hooked. It's like drug, okay? Nigerians have been pushed to the wall. You saw those things you are seeing there, They are the symptoms that comes with a failed country like that. So there's no amount of what I say here that can help people, but I will keep trying to. So if people don't stop APC, Idris, people are going to be killing themselves because they said, kill one, you will make money, and they will do it. These are the symptoms of a failed country. Nigeria is there already, Idris. Nigeria is there already. I know a lot about all the gambling addiction in Nigeria. How it has become, see, somebody who is related to me, for you to know that I know much about these loan sharks and the rest of them taking advantage of people, including those who are using people's details to borrow money they don't want to pay back. Here you get that chaos. Inside that chaos, so many people are going to die, or for the sake of preservation. For those who will know and survive, they would have to restart Nigeria. They have to shut the entire country down. The entire political class have to go. The entire business class, the elite that you call businessmen, the bank owners, this business and that, they are all criminals. Do you understand?
The funniest part
All of them.
The funniest part is the tax these governments are generating from these lottery commissions people. It is so massive that they can't even say anything, even in the House of Assembly. To even nip it.
Yeah, to make all of you
And even to make it worse, all the social media influencers, all these macaroni and co, they keep advertising this bet company up and down. You even at the mercy of your phone, you'll be seeing them. You'll be seeing it. If you close your eyes, you will see bets. If you open your eyes, you will see bets. It has
X-bet,
Naira
bet,
God.
that bet. Only 20 naira you need, only 15 naira you need. You see, all of this because of systemic failure. It's synonymous to poor countries. And if you go look at few other poor countries like that, the same thing is happening. They are taking advantage of the poor the more. So until the people says enough, you just take it easy, okay?
Maiyegun, that's the only thing I benefited in June 12th is just the day that I gave birth to my baby girl, and today is her birthday. That's the only thing that I can remember about Nigeria. So happy birthday to my little queen. Yes, that's the only thing that's the only thing I know about June 12th. I don't know anything about their roguish.
Something great about the day. In fact, you are a lucky person.
That's the only thing.
So that's enough for you.
Exactly,
kind of like,
my babe. Yeah, my baby is 4 years old, so that's the only thing I benefited in Nigeria as a thing. So thank God. Thank you very much, sir.
Sure. Yes, sir. You take it easy. Okay?
All right, sir.
Have a good one.
Yes, sir.
So thank you so much, everyone, for your time. So I now have just about 20 minutes to go. 20 minutes. So let's use it wisely. I have another caller. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm a first-time caller.
Oh, bless you. Sir, your name?
My name is Rosel Pinky, calling all the way from China.
Bless you. Russell from China. Baba?
Rosel Pinky.
Say that again. Rosel what?
Rosel Pinky.
Rosel Pinky. Oh, that one a special one, Baba. How you doing?
Okay, I come Jaruf, Maiyegun.
Ashe Baba, Jaruf. God bless you.
I'm one of your best fans, and I'm glad to be on the program live.
God bless you.
With the time difference and all that, I still take my time to listen to your program.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. I really don't have much to say. Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ aṣubú dànù. Yeah. Kọlu ṣubú dànù lénìí. And ó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ọjọ́ tí ó lẹ́rẹ̀ June 12th. Yeah. They call it Democratic or Democracy Day. Democracy Demo. Yeah, whatever they call it, I don't see any democratic or democratic rule in Nigeria.
Nothing.
Ever since I was born, well, I'm from a political background. My dad is one of the politicians in Nigeria. And the people disturbing Nigeria are the religious leaders and the politicians. I call them the double P. Pastors and politicians. Family and not be our see. And someone like me, they see me as a black sheep.
So that like an outlier. They will be like, but Nigeria, the money we take crazy. I say, and so I didn't ask you.
They will be like, yeah, I can hear you. I'm Hollywood. There's nothing I say. They will be like, oh, he's always against it. He's always against it.
Yeah.
You know, as Maiyegun. Yeah, I'm Maiyegun. I don't miss your show. You have a lot of fans. And as I'm speaking to you right now,
yes, sir.
There is someone who also lives in Scotland. I wouldn't want to mention his name. I am very sure he can hear me live and direct.
Right.
Yeah.
So is that somebody I should know?
I'm telling you, is one of your #1 fan. He lives in Scotland. He's presently in Nigeria. Yeah. I tell you this, Maiyegun, you get people. When I say you have people, you get people.
I know.
People who talk on your show, I want to. One just soldier, food soldier, ear soldier, sea soldier, that they don't talk, they just listen.
Bless you all, Baba. I know.
I'm telling you.
I know.
I don't want to talk about Nigeria issue or emphasize on Nigeria's problem because we all know the problem. We all know there's no solution because our people are not ready. They have actually weaponized poverty. When I go on the social media, I will just be shaking my head at God. What is this? They have normalized abnormality in Nigeria. I go to Nigeria often. Nigeria taman law from one place to another. Okay, awala Nigeria ti dibita tabama loss in tamasa only. Yeah. If you are flying by air, disappointment. If you are going by road,
you have to pray and cross your face every now and then.
I tell you, my brother.
It used to be a dream, Baba. It used to be a dream. I couldn't wait to grow up. Baba, I was waiting to grow up because I was seeing all these my own senior brothers, uncles, right? One of them is watching me right now, Tabo. You see, this way in their own younger age, right? They were like, they could drive, Baba. The fact that they are leaving Lagos to come to Ijebu, because me, I live for Ijebu. Through them now, because of them, I take load the rest of Ijebu towns.
I school in Ogun State.
Baba,
Ogun State University. Now, whatever.
You know, so my own, elderly cousins and all of them like that, uncles and the rest, right? Once they come back, they want to explore the old towns, communities everywhere. These days, always come.
If you try that one now, my brother,
you cannot longer say you want to go on road trip now. Everyone just come back from Yankee or everyone just come back from China. You want to take all of us go Ikoku Siekiti.
I travel, I drive 14 hours, 16 hours.
Yeah.
But we do not need moto.
You know?
But you are your us or not. There is security. You can't get scared of anything whatsoever. Unlike US, gunshot. UK, once in low level, don't low jackknife. Maybe camera and security. There is nothing like. I can tell you, maybe you reborn in Louis, cause wọn ní cause láti gbé bọ́n dání páwọn yọ̀ bọ́n láì ṣe pé wọ́n fẹ́ ja war.
Why?
I'm telling you, my brother.
But that's not what they told us about China. China is communist. People there are controlled. I am so happy that you see one great thing that internet has done for all of us is that, except for those who intentionally want to be ignorant, internet has managed to dispel a lot of rumors.
Àwọn tó ń wo fíìmù Jackie Chan láyé ìgbà yẹn wọ́n fi fáwọn alákẹ̀tẹ̀ ló ń gbé China. Development in this country wọ́n tún tẹ bá ń wo CCTV they will be like China in motion. Ìyẹn náà pè ní pé àwọn ò dúró wọn ò dúró rárá. I'm telling you, my brother. Now nílùú yìí wọ́n ti ní àwọn robotic police. I'm telling you. So
all those people with this thing, what are in the movie that we were seeing in movies, all those so they don't get that for China, right? You have robotic police, maybe robotic dogs.
I am telling you, I can share you a lot of videos. Mo lọ sí Europe, mo sọ fún wọn, I think after COVID-19, ní Germany, mo sọ fún wọn pé a ní WC tó máa fọ̀dí fún ẹ, because a lot of them will lose their job very soon. You get it? W for D, Sorry, oh my people, I'm just being free with Maiyegun today.
That's what you did now. That's what we do here now.
Speech. I'm so glad and happy to be here
Thank
today.
you.
Trust me, 100%. Maiyegun, you have food soldier, you have air soldiers all over the world.
I appreciate this, Baba. Thank you so much. Okay. I hope.
Nice to have you here.
Go on. Sorry.
Yeah, nice to hear you today, and nice to be on your program.
Thank you.
Because Awati Wani Ati Walagobi melo back in time now. I think this is about what's it called?
Well, we are currently at around 4:45. 4:45. What time are we?
4:45. I will be online. I gbọ́ kíní yẹn láti òkè dé ìsàlẹ̀. Bí mo dẹ̀ ṣe ń gbọ́ yẹn ni mo ṣe ń share ẹ̀. You have one great fan. Okay, let me even mention his name. His name is Gary Al-Aji. Gary Ahmed is one of your #1 fan. Trust me. Àwọn yẹn fẹ́ràn ẹ̀.
Àjọ wà ní Scotland, right?
Yeah, àwọn yẹn fẹ́ràn ẹ̀ jù. Alájì òṣèrán ìlú kan. Ó máa ń fò kiri tiẹ̀. Àwọn tó ti bá àwọn Tinubu ṣiṣẹ́, àwọn tó ti bá àwọn oríṣiríṣi olóṣèlú ṣiṣẹ́, àwọn tó ti ṣe many machine, but wọ́n realize sharing traveling is part of education, my brother.
It is.
Wọ́n realize pé no, gbogbo kìíní ò lọ títí. He's a very, very lovely man. Trust me.
Thank you.
Now, kò lè bá gbogbo àwọn Tinubu yẹn o àtàwọn ọmọọṣẹ́ èwo ni wọ́n mọ̀ everywhere. But you can never do anything with them anymore. I'm telling you.
Thank you so much.
My brother, nice to have you here.
It's such a
nice
pleasure.
To be on your program. I will always try to call it back. I will always try to call you.
Don't be a silent watcher any longer. I enjoy this, okay? So
I'm telling you,
I know, but I shall try. I shall not try push it. You can always break into that area, you know.
I'm pushing. From one group to another. We need to enlighten our people. We need to enlighten them because a lot of people already want to I
swear.
People that we went to school together, when they talk like this, you would want to puke. That honestly. What are you saying?
You know, Sha. What are you
saying? What are you saying, my brother? Ọpọlọ àwọn ará Nàìjíríà ti kú o. Kàbá ń gbọ́ pé they have weaponized poverty, they have weaponized poverty. Káàkiri òwe ó ti ń ṣẹlẹ̀ Nàìjíríà o. I'm telling you. We now have uneducated graduates. People who are meant to liberate people. Wọ́n wá di ẹni tó jẹ́ pé àwọn gan wá dọ̀dẹ̀, wọ́n ń wò bí ọ̀bọ̀njọ́. Ṣọ́pọ̀ ṣe. Ọlọ́run kọ́ ló máa gba Nàìjíríà o. Àwọn náà máa gbára wọn tó bá ti rẹ́dí.
God bless you.
Wọ́n dẹ̀ tí rẹ́dí.
Thank you so much.
It is not yet full for them. Wọ́n sì ń jó skelewu, wọ́n trek lórí social media. Gbogbo afẹ́fẹ́ yẹyẹ.
They are not ready.
They are not ready.
They are not ready.
They are not ready.
And you cannot, sir.
When that time
you can only wake somebody. Go on, sir.
I can hear you, my brother. I can hear you.
Okay, I want to say that you can only wake somebody who is sleeping. You can't wake somebody that is pretending to be sleeping. And those people
one debony now. That's the right word to use, my brother.
Thank you so much.
To be sleeping.
It's such a pleasure.
Nice to have you here. I caught my car for you.
Me too. I am reciprocating. So you say, I want me to pay your call. You say, I want me okay. You know what I'm going to just you know about you like that. They say that, you know, Esa, I'm a super pay. Baba, oya tuale. Omo, if you go my buate me, just stay safe, eh? You have a good one, sir. Okay?
Yes.
So, thanks so much, everyone. This is where we're going to draw the curtains. Let me tell you this, okay? Agbeke is not really feeling fine, so I'm going to need to quickly go take a check on and all that. Then I will be back here later this evening. If you see me back here this evening, well, that's me back. Or if you don't, I think we've had so much of fun this afternoon, but I promise to be back. Okay, I want to be back. But time will tell. So thank you so much for spending your afternoon with me. Yeah, watch this from the start if you joined us at midway. I will see you some other time. Good afternoon.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun dayari Nayibi #1. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun dayari Nayibi #1. Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Maiyegun dayari Nayibi #1. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Maiyegun dayari Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun dayari Nayibi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun dayari Nayibi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun dayari Nayibi #1. Maiyegun dayari politico. Maiyegun dayari Nayibi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun dayari Nayibi #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu. Maiyegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Òkúrọ̀ olóṣèlú. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.